Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, General Hospital. General Hospital spoilers. Dr. Navarro slips about Brook Lynn's past pregnancy during results recap. Blows teen baby's secret. General Hospital, GH. Spoiler suggests that fans can feel as if they are on the cusp of a major secret reveal where Brook Lynn Quartermain Chase, Amanda Seton, and her teen pregnancy are concerned. For months now, fans have suspected BLQ of being pregnant, and she finally confirmed this last week. While there are still many lingering questions about the entire thing, it's hard not to think that her secret is about to be revealed to Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, in the most innocent of ways. General Hospital spoilers. Could Dr. Navarro mention BLQ's past pregnancy during the results? GA spoilers remind fans that Dr. Navarro, Christina Ferraro, has re-entered the canvas as both Brook Lynn and Chase have turned to her to get tested and see if either of them suffers from infertility issues. After all, the couple started trying to have a baby in August 2024, and they are currently in January 2025 with no baby in sight. During the week of January 13 to 17, when Brook Lynn talked to Dr. Navarro, she was asked if she had been pregnant before, and BLQ told her doctor the truth. Still, there was no mention of keeping the information hidden from Chase. So, could Dr. Navarro accidentally spill the beans? GH spoilers. Will Harrison Chase be upset? Navarro mentioned that their test results would be available in the next couple of days, so there's a good chance they'll be ready sometime during the week of January 20 to 24. Could Navarro accidentally mention BLQ's past pregnancy while talking to the couple about the results? Whether there are underlying health issues that are causing Brook Lynn and Chase problems with conceiving or not? How would Chase react when he hears the news? Will he be upset she never told him, or will he understand? General Hospital. Secrets of the past. Whispers of the past. Brook Lynn Quartermain stood in the sterile office of Dr. Navarro, her hands clasped tightly together. The walls of the clinic seemed to close in on her as she answered the routine questions. "Have you been pregnant before?" Dr. Navarro asked, her tone clinical yet empathetic. Brook Lynn's throat tightened. Her mind raced back to her teenage years, a time shrouded in secrecy and regret. The memories were buried so deep that even she had convinced herself they didn't exist. But now, confronted with the reality of her past, she nodded hesitantly. "Yes," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Dr. Navarro made a quick note, her pen scratching against the paper, and then moved on to the next question. But for Brook Lynn, the past felt dangerously close, as though it might escape at any moment, and unraveled a fragile future she was trying to build with Harrison Chase. Chase's hopes. Meanwhile, Harrison Chase sat in the waiting area, his foot tapping anxiously on the tile floor. He and Brook Lynn had been trying for months to conceive, and with each passing week, their hopes had grown dimmer. Chase had always been the optimistic one in their relationship, the rock who grounded Brook Lynn during her moments of doubt. "Everything okay?" Chase asked as Brook Lynn exited the consultation room, her face pale and eyes distant. She forced a smile, nodding quickly. "Yeah, just routine stuff. Dr. Navarro says we should have the results soon." Chase reached for her hand, his warmth grounding her as it always did. "No matter what the results say, we'll figure it out. Together." Brook Lynn smiled faintly, but her heart was heavy. The secret she had been keeping from Chase felt like a ticking time bomb, and with Dr. Navarro now aware of her past, she feared it was only a matter of time before the truth came out. A slip of the tongue. 2 days later, Brook Lynn and Chase sat side by side in Dr. Navarro's office, awaiting the results of their tests. The tension in the room was palpable. Well, Dr. Navarro began, scanning the papers in front of her. The good news is that there's nothing medically preventing either of you from conceiving. Sometimes it just takes a bit of time. Relief washed over Chase, but Brook Lynn remained tense. She knew what was coming next. Brook Lynn, as we discussed during your initial consultation, your previous pregnancy doesn't seem to have any bearing on this. Your body is fully capable. Chase's head snapped toward Brook Lynn, his eyes wide with shock. Previous pregnancy. Brook Lynn froze. Her worst fear had just come true. Confrontation. The car ride home was silent, the tension so thick it was suffocating. Once they were inside their apartment, Chase finally broke the silence. "Brook Lynn, what the hell was that? You've been pregnant before." She turned away, unable to face the hurt in his eyes. "It was a long time ago, Chase. I didn't think it mattered." "Didn't think it mattered," he repeated, his voice rising. "We've been trying to have a baby for months, and you didn't think it mattered to tell me something like that." Tears welled up in her eyes. "I was young. It was a mistake. I didn't think it was important because it's not a part of who I am anymore." Chase shook his head, running a hand through his hair. "You don't get to decide what's important, Brook Lynn. We're supposed to be partners. How can I trust you if you keep things like this from me?" Flashbacks. Brook Lynn sat alone in the living room after Chase stormed out, her mind drifting back to the past she had tried so hard to forget. At 17, she found herself pregnant and scared. The Quartermaine name had loomed over her like a dark cloud, and the pressure to keep the family reputation intact had been suffocating. Her parents had insisted on keeping the pregnancy a secret, and before she even had time to process what was happening, the baby had been given up for adoption. The memory of holding her newborn for the first and last time was etched into her soul. It was a wound that had never fully healed, and now it threatened to destroy the life she had built with Chase. Chase's struggle. Chase spent the night at his brother Finn's house, trying to process everything he had learned. Maybe she was just scared, Finn suggested, pouring Chase a cup of coffee. Chase shook his head. "It's not just about the pregnancy, Finn. It's about the fact that she didn't trust me enough to tell me. How am I supposed to build a family with someone who keeps secrets like that?" Finn leaned back in his chair, his expression thoughtful. "People make mistakes, Chase. The question is, do you love her enough to forgive her? A second chance." The next day, Chase returned home, ready to have an honest conversation with Brook Lynn. He found her sitting on the couch, her eyes red from crying. "I'm sorry," she said before he could speak. "I should have told you. I was just so afraid of losing you." Chase sat down beside her, taking her hand in his. "I'm not going anywhere, Brook Lynn, but we can't build a future together if we're not honest with each other. No more secrets, okay?" She nodded, a tear sliding down her cheek. No more secrets. The ripple effect. As the days passed, the revelation of Brook Lynn's past began to ripple through Port Charles. The Quartermaine family was in an uproar, and old wounds were reopened. But through it all, Brook Lynn and Chase remained steadfast, determined to face whatever challenges came their way. This story sets the stage for a deep exploration of trust, forgiveness, and the lingering impact of past decisions. If you'd like, I can expand further, adding more subplots and interactions with other key characters in General Hospital.